Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tavua. We love Today FM in Tavua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news, MPs clash over Corvus allocation. Digital television to benefit all Fijians. And teachers' union wait for ministry decision.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
A heated exchange of words in Parliament today between opposition MP Biman Prasad and the Economy Minister on the topic of Corvus Communications, a foreign public relations firm working for the government. Prasad raised a motion to divert the $1 million allocation for Corvus in the budget to other government initiatives. This led to a war of words between the two MPs. Akusita Tale has more.
I can speculate. I have evidence too.
Honourable members, can we have
I have evidence too. I have evidence too.
Corvus will continue to be the government's public relations firm following Biman Prasad's motion to remove them was defeated.
We need Corvus, and Corvus itself has an international reputation of working in rogue states and supporting rogue regimes.
Prasad claims he has written evidence proving Corvus is meddling in local affairs
and influencing governance issues and concocting public relations stunts. It is also trying to influence sections of the local media on what is spin to provide while covering government events and personalities, including the Prime Minister.
This was interjected by the Economy Minister, telling Prasad to stick to the motion whether to increase or decrease Corvus allocation and not divert from it by making speculations.
No need to give all this speculation and all this. I have been reliable, been informed. I can also, Madam Chair, let me speak. Let me speak. Madam Chair, I can also sit here and speculate how he is controlling the media through Fiji Times. He is having coffee with people from Motibais in Nandi. All of these things are happening.
Thank you.
I can speculate. I can speculate. I can speculate. I have evidence too.
When will this finish, please? Let's bring order to this meeting, please. And I think
the opposition MP wasn't allowed to elaborate further on the motion as the Speaker of the House interjected and told other MPs to speak on the motion. Opposition MPs Viliame Ngavoka, Salote Randronro, Rokin Viliame Kiliraki and Prem Singh raised similar sentiments that the $1 million should be directed to other initiatives and a chance given to local media. The motion was defeated with 15 to 31. Akusit Tale, FBC News.
Satellite connectivity is vital for the rolling out of digital television. Therefore, government has set aside $9 million for the building of towers in satellite space. Communications Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum says this is essential in connecting all Fijians irrespective of their geographical locations. Digital television is expected to roll out in December. Savara Thumbor reports.
Implementing of the digital television and its funding was debated at length this morning. Communication Minister Syed Qayyum has assured Parliament that through digital television, educational programs of various ministries could be aid-free and will be accessed by all Fijians.
The Ministry of Education can roll out teaching programs, and every single student in Fiji can tune in, even though in southern Laos, or whether they're in Yetsen School in Suva, whether they're up in Vanuatu, they'll all get the same educational program.
Opposition member Prem Singh sought clarification from the minister on the allocation of $2 million that was set aside for the implementation of analog to digital roadmap.
Is this the cost of consultancy or what is the cost for? Because in the same program activity there is in Seg 9, $8 million for digital television rollout. The total allocation for analog to digital comes to around $10 million.
No, the $2 million, as you know, that we've already allocated some of this money previously for the set-top boxes. As we've said that we are going to supply set-top boxes to all those people below a particular income level at $30,000.
Of the 6 channels provided free to air, 2 has been assigned to Fiji TV and FBC TV respectively, 1 to My TV, and the 6th one is the dedicated parliamentary channel. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
The government has already spent $1.5 million making initial payments to commence the cable connection project to Vanua Levu. There are 2 allocations of funds set aside for this project. Economy Minister Aya Said Kayum says this includes the finalization of loan agreement from the World Bank and execution of project contract with the Alcatel Submarine Network, undersea fiber optic cables to supply the spur.
This cable is coming from Samoa to Batuanga, and it passes between Taveuni and Savu and Vanua Levu. So we're building a spur out of that to connect it and make it land on Vanua Levu. The project will be completed by March of 2018. There are 2 budgetary allocations. First, for the loan component involving direct payment of $12.53 million by the World Bank for the supply of the spur and project management fees, and second, another $5 million for the locally funded component for VAT and other project fees and costs.
A dispute has been filed by the Fiji Teachers Union and the Fijian Teachers Association against the Education Ministry, and hopes are high the Labour Ministry will seriously look into this. The teachers' unions are unhappy with the ministry for placing a condition that all permanent staff must sign a 5-year contract before they are given a salary increase as announced in the budget last week. Tokasa Rainima reports.
The circular states that teachers are eligible for the 14.3% salary increase following a job evaluation exercise. However, to receive the pay rise, a signature on the new contract is a must.
A job evaluation exercise has nothing to do with the other terms and conditions of work. These are permanent employees who are now being forced to take up contracts, otherwise they will not receive a pay rise. This is nothing less than blackmail.
It's like a blackmail of our teachers. You sign this and you get the increase. If you don't sign, you don't get the increase. And we don't agree with that. And it's not right, it's unethical for the ministry to be doing that on the teachers.
Both organizations will now await the outcome of the dispute filed with the Ministry of Labour against the Education Ministry. Labour Minister Chonia Usamati says the matter is in front of the arbitration.
There is a process that they need to follow. Since they are I think they're in an essential industry, it has to go to the arbitration court. If there is a conflict, that the minister might be called to come and do some conciliation.
The organizations have also written to the Education Ministry informing them about unstable and insecure working terms and conditions for teachers. Tokas Renima, FBC News.
Salaries of early childhood education teachers was under the spotlight in Parliament today. This comes after the opposition questioned the current pay scales and asked the government to justify it. Rachel Nath with the details.
Again, the Honourable Member doesn't understand. They were not given salaries. They are wage earners.
An intense back-and-forth debate on ECE teachers' salaries was the highlight of Parliament this afternoon.
This is in absence of the Minister's response that I had quoted $1,400 that they were being paid, and just because of the reduced hours, they're being paid $800.
We cannot give a 4-hour job, a half-day job to somebody. You call somebody at work, you have to give a full 8-hour work. Yeah, right.
Former Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy clarified that the pay scales are determined by the teachers' qualifications and merit.
Basic training teachers, they're given $5 an hour. Those who have a certificate, short 1 month, 2 month certificate, they're paid $7 an hour. Those who have 1 year certificate, they're paid $9.30 an hour. Those who are getting a diploma, they're paid $11 an hour. Those who have a bachelor's degree, they're paid $14 an hour.
This debate has also revealed that degree holders in ECE receive more salaries than full-time teachers. A motion to further increase the grant allocation for ECE teachers was defeated with 31 noes and 13 ayes. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Still to come, talking SDGs through pictures. And cancer cases continue to rise. Stay with us.
Moala rara ranalika, o tikongona taunu singatoka, ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na serre.
Ya dora subuli kurang bili. Borani batu karaham para benaranga. Do talitaki na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na serre. Bula.
Bula FM number 2 na serre.
Fijians can now see for themselves the 17 Sustainable Development Goals in compelling images at the museum. Speaking at the exhibition's launch in Suva last night, Prime Minister Vurengam Bainimarama said these images highlight the importance of taking action on SDGs in the Pacific. Kelly Vavala reports.
The SDGs, also known as the Global Goals, is a universal call to take an action to end poverty, protect the planet and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity.
That it brings home to all of us the relevance of these SDGs to everyone living in vulnerable parts of the world, such as Fiji, and their critical importance in sustaining all 7.5 billion people on planet Earth, ensuring our survival.
The United Nations and the UNDP welcomed the exhibition, saying it was a good way to portray real people's stories.
Each picture has a message and a story to tell. Indeed, a picture can render the story in ways that are much more powerful using another creative medium of art and expression. We're pleased to bring these stories to the general public because achieving the vision of SDGs requires broad-based awareness.
Considering Fiji's strong role globally, as well as its commitment and capacities to help Pacific countries with their development challenges, be it by opening its doors to those displaced by climate change.
The PM also announced a photography competition where both professional and amateur photographers can submit photos showing the human and environmental impacts of climate change and how individuals and groups are mobilizing to counter this threat. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Close to 2,000 new cases of cancer have been recorded by the oncology unit at the CWM hospital in Suva since last year. Oncologist Dr. Annie Atalifo revealed the figures during Fiji's biggest morning team, an initiative launched 11 years ago that raises funds to fight cancer.
Out of these cases, approximately 41% were young women with breast cancer, followed by other types of cancer.
Another 30% came from, again, women with gynecological cancers. That includes cervical cancer, endometrium and ovarian. But there is also the prostate cancer, the blood cancers, many other different cancers, GIT cancers that are slowly but surely being diagnosed and contributing to our rising statistics.
Dr. Atalifo says in an effort to curb increasing number of cancer cases, early detection is vital.
The most important thing is preventative and early screening, because it's at that stage that we can talk curative intent of treatment.
A 43-year-old husband also shared his experience when his wife was diagnosed with cervical cancer last year. His wife, Nanise Marama, went to India for her surgery and was away for 7 weeks, leaving behind her 5 children, including her 1-month-old baby girl.
When you're placed with such responsibility, it takes courage and strength to go through this.
The Fiji Cancer Society raised $61,000 through 70 corporate companies during Fiji's biggest morning tea last year. Through these funds, the society assists patients suffering from cancer with medication and transportation expenses. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Former Fiji Commerce Commission CEO Bobby Maharaj appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court this morning, facing 1 count of abuse of office. The case was called for mention and FICAC sought more time to serve agreed facts. It is alleged Maharaj abused his authority and directed an employee to fill in false information without conducting an inspection of a trader. The matter has been adjourned to August 28th. A 40-year-old mother has been convicted of 1 count of infanticide by the Suva High Court this afternoon. Vika Lalingavoka was initially charged with 1 count of murder. However, Judge Justice Riaz Hamza found her guilty of 1 count of infanticide. Lalingavoka gave birth to the child inside her bathroom on July 18, 2011 at Cunningham in Suva. The baby proceeded from the accused body and fell on the floor. Lalingavoka pressed her baby's nose and tapped his cheeks. However, he did not respond. She wrapped the baby in a cloth, placed him inside a brown bag, which she then placed outside their home. Bail has been extended for the accused and her sentencing submissions will be heard on Friday. Ahead in sports with Jamie, BOG Countdown continues, but joining us next is Rachel with Business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in Business tonight, Radisson Blu celebrates birthday. And in growing Fiji, Value City continues with expansion. Stay with us.
I'm another sort of of Nayabu whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Kano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. In Business tonight, the Radisson Blu Resort Fiji has marked 10 years of operation. The resort hosted their staff, guests and industry partners to a celebration to thank them for the success achieved. General Manager Jared Knight says this achievement is attributed to the hard work of their staff who held the fort for 10 years. Included in the celebrations was a presentation of a gold plaque to 10 team members who have served the resort since it opened. We now join Savanatha from HFC Bank with the latest from the markets.
Good evening. Let's take a look at our economic calendar for the week. This afternoon, the UK releases its unemployment claimant count change for June, which is expected to increase from 7.3 thousand to 10,000. A high reading is generally weakening for the British pound. And the European Union releases its industrial production for month-on-month to May, which is expected to increase from 0.5% to 1.1%. Tomorrow morning, Chair Janet Yellen of the U.S. Federal Reserve will testify to Congress, indicating the central bank stands on its monetary policy. Meanwhile, the U.S. dollar has stayed at the same level the past 3 days at 0.4764. However, we await Janet Yellen's testimony to see its effect on the U.S. market and our Fijian dollar. That is all from me right now. Vinaka.
Thanks, Avanatha. On to today's exchange rates. The Fijian dollar weakened against the Chinese yuan to close at 324, while it strengthened against the American dollar, closing at 47 cents. Closer to home, the Australian dollar weakened, closing at 62 cents, while the New Zealand dollar strengthened, closing at 65 cents, and the PNG Kina remained steady, closing at 132. As for the commodities market, an increase across the index today as oil prices closed at $45.78 a barrel. Gold closed at $1,219 an ounce, and silver followed suit, closing at $15.92 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, Value City Limited, a Fijian family-owned business, opened its newest branch in Nambour, Suva today, with the 4th addition to their now 16th shop across the country. Maggie Boy was on hand, avoiding the stampede of customers who were fortunate enough to get the first dibs on an array of bargains.
Consumerism is well and truly alive, and for those shoppers in Nambour, the new look Value City was the place to be.
The demand is there. We've been receiving inquiries from Levuka, Korovo in Tailevu, and also we're looking at another branch in Lautoka City. So Value City has become a brand name.
Owner Vera Chut says with more expansion plans on the cards, the recipe for success has come down to 3 elements.
We've always tried to give our consumer good quality, trendy stuff, and most importantly, the affordability.
And for these shoppers, there's a little something for everybody.
It's really good. There's a lot of stuff and very cheap.
This is the first time for me to come to experience the...
And normally on Facebook this week, some of my friends told me there's an opening here. So I said, okay, I'll come and see along.
Yeah, I brought my wife and my daughter-in-law.
You're going to spend all your money?
Yeah, a little bit.
Value City, or VC's as it's affectionately known, has continued to grow over the years. The family-owned business continues to expand its franchise, not only here in Fiji, but to the region. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
And that's your business this evening. Now to the latest in sports. Here's Jamie.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening in sports. After the break, hype builds in Lambasa for the start of BOG. And Flying Fijians settle in ahead of Samoa battle. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन तो बताओ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
Lambasa's Subril Park is all but ready to host the Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants, which starts on Friday. Work at the venue will be completed by tomorrow and the site handed over to the Fiji Football Association. Wastil Prasad has more.
Lambasa hosts the BOG after a lapse of 15 years, and final touch-ups are underway at the venue, which will be ready for action come Friday.
And whatever we put to the ground, it's a very hard surface ground. It hasn't rained for many months now, so we are doing whatever we can to see that the ground stays in the best condition.
A number of areas have been improved at the ground to ensure it's all up to par for the 3-day meet.
This effort made by Town Council and Administrator, according to our plan. They have worked together and nearly completed everything. It's about time they will hand over the ground to us by tomorrow afternoon.
The Lambasa Town Council has also built in a special drug test room, which is a requirement now for all the local tournaments.
We provide them with the drug test facilities now, and extra support services that we are trying to give to the Fiji football.
The Town Council has ensured all that the venue will be second to none in the country.
I think they're coming tomorrow. At 9 o'clock we are looking to the last handover process. And when the CEO is also in tomorrow, we are going to talk and see what about the small requirements are. If there is any, we are going to meet them all.
This venue has always proven to be hit for football. No doubt the pavilions around me will be jam-packed come the weekend. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji Under-19 women's football team knows it will need to up its game against New Zealand in their second match of the Oceania Championships. New Zealand thumped Papua New Guinea 12-0 in their first outing, while Fiji accounted for Tonga 4-0 yesterday. Here are the goals from that match.
Nice goal.
They played according to what we have been training, and that was something good that they maintained the confidence throughout the game. And it's good to see that they were playing, like opening up and building play from the back.
The Flying Fijians anticipate an uphill battle against Samoa this Saturday. While Fiji have had a relatively good run this season with 3 wins from 4 games, they believe it won't stand for anything going up against their determined Samoan side at home. Meli Tavanga reports.
The game against Samoa means a lot to the Flying Fijians as they focus to win the Pacific Nations Championship.
We expect a tough battle. We come here with some confidence from our success so far this campaign, but know that doesn't count for anything this Saturday.
Coach McKee says the Samoan side will not be easy this time, as they will come firing, hoping to get a spot in the upcoming Rugby World Cup.
We'll come at us very strong in the forward, so our more defence will have to be strong. But also, you know, they've got a very, very good back line, so, you know, they've got a lot of threats all over the park, so our defence is going to have to be very good.
Poor execution of passes is one of the areas the Fijians are looking into as they prepare for Saturday.
Oh, we need to execute our plays a bit better. I thought against Tonga we had some chances, but with our last passes, you know, the poor execution of the pass meant that we didn't turn opportunity into points.
Both teams have played 50 times, with Fiji winning 27 and 3 draws. Melita Vanga, FBC Sports.
Good news for local drag races and fans, with the Fiji Car Club today receiving major financial support for the next 18 months. Fuel and lubricant company Pacific Energy has given the club $120,000 to host its 18 planned events starting this Sunday. Club President Razel Hanif says the money is a timely boost and will be used to host bigger and better events.
We are committed in having 5 events this year. If time permits for us to have 6, we will do 6. But we are promising now that we will do 5 before end of racing season this year.
The Fiji Under-21 netball team has notched up another win at the Netball World Youth Cup, making it 3 from 3 and already booking a spot for the quarterfinals with 1 prelim game to go. The Baby Pearls beat Grenada 74-23, setting them up for their final Pool D match against England at 3 a.m. tomorrow. In earlier results, Fiji beat Trinidad and Tobago 58-28 before taking on Wales in a closer encounter, but nonetheless coming out on top 48-35. 2 members of the British and Irish Lions team were part of a rugby clinic carried out by the Liline Memorial School Academy at Bidesi Park this afternoon. Prop Kyle Sinclair and winger Anthony Watson are in the country for a break after their tour of New Zealand, including 3 tests against the All Blacks. The pair were impressed with the talents of the students and took time to fine-tune their skills.
Good to see the boys, you know, just learning and always asking questions and getting better. They've got, like I was saying before, a huge amount of talent, and physically they're gifted, so they just got to keep learning. But I'm sure
come back and give a little bit back to the guys here. I think it's a great experience for us, and hopefully they can get some learning out of it as well.
That's it from sports this evening. Angie joins you later on with weather, and in the world of the weird and the wonderful, check out a new type of museum. That's right after the break.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuya sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasabale, nagundurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
In new media recently, under the theme of Made in Internet, CEOs and founders of e-commerce and tech giants got together to discuss ways forward. Internet shopping topped the list. Angie joins us now with the very latest in weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's the Humber Day and we had some gorgeous sunny conditions. Well, all thanks to the super winds for breaking up the clouds to allow some drier and brighter spells to roll in. Now let's check out what the scenario was like in the west. It was a fine day with plenty sunshine and scattered clouds. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, clouds were slightly thickening as we saw in the afternoon. We might get few showers later tonight. And up in Vanuatu, it was a breezy day with sunshine. However, there is indications for rain tonight. At sea, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, high tide tonight will be at 9:06 with a low tide tomorrow morning at 3:04. It looks like a good night to catch some fish. See the beauty of sunrise at 6:38. For tomorrow, much of today's conditions will continue into tomorrow. And tomorrow's temps, Suva and Ba are thought to have some cool conditions with highs of 24 and lows of 19 and 16. And looking ahead to Friday, we will have a bit of sunshine accompanied by a light rain. And that, Jackie, wraps up our FBC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fijian Pulse today, we asked, who do you think will win the Battle of the Giants tournament?
I think Lautoka will win the BOG this year. I think the Tuva will win the tournament.
I think Lautoka because they're a good team and they're CVC champions, and also I'm from Lautoka also, and they have a good strategy to win.
I support Lautoka team Blues because that's our home team. I think Lamas are gonna win this time because they are a very good team. They're training very hard for few weeks.
I don't know who's gonna win this tournament for the BOG, but I'm working in Lamas Town Council. I think so. Lamas will take this trophy.
Rewa will win because my wife from Rewa.
Must be Rewa.
Why do you say Rewa?
Because I'm living in Rewa.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, Nelson Molina spent 34 years as a garbage worker in New York City. He salvaged over 50,000 items from garbage, creating a de facto trash museum. He hopes the city will turn it into a real museum. Recapping the main stories, MPs clash over Corvus allocation, digital television to benefit all Fijians, and teachers' unions wait for ministry decision. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, should civil servants be put on contracts like people in the private sector? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, today's shot of the day comes from the beautiful island of Lao. The sunrise was captured at Totoya Island by Tui Masi. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye for now.
Kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoi Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Uti ko minasong buti ko lang ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoi Viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila tali, nagurara may naomanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali tajiri ang gitu pinasibali, nagundurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoi Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoi Viti na ponga ni BNN.